Alrighty, so as I share this, the today P&L, we're taking a look here, and today I took three trades. Well, actually, two trades. So this one here for EMVV was a overnight trade, and I only bought three shares. It was a test for my own software here to see if it would list them in open positions and how it would handle them. So this wasn't a true trade. The trade I did take was LOBO, and I didn't have a chance to record the actual trade because I just woke up, sat down at the computer, started typing, and I had just logged in, and I saw LOBO going up, and I decided to go in and take it, and made a little bit of money. I did chase it. I think it was. It looked like it was a bounce, and by bounce I mean a reclaim of VWAP or an EMA pullback, and it did turn down, and I held it, and I finally backed my money. So another green day, and so that was $40, increasing my P&L overall for the month. And I had $800, and then I did the live, and I didn't trade at all during the live. But TDIC had been moving up earlier in the open, and it did so after I had shut down. You can see the time here is 8:33. So I went ahead and jumped in with the money I had left for 800 shares, and I bought in at 98 cents. And as you can see here, uh, it was a break-even trade basically, and it was a chase because it wasn't going to come back. And I didn't record it because I had already exited OBS. And but I at one point I was down $40. I had my P&L for the day was minus 20 at one point because of the stupidity that I did. So hopefully this is my FOMO trade for the week, and for certainly for today, and it'll be a problem. And there's something interesting that I want to show before we go through the monthly calendar. So yeah, I don't know if you saw my videos of yesterday. So yesterday I had more trades, and I pointed out to this profit per share up here, which was just 2 cents, which is very low. And today what I did to the app is I added a setting down here at the bottom below the P&L for that trade that shows you what the price per share is actually at. So in this one, for example, it's 3 cents. This one is only 2 cents. This one is 2.7 tenths of a cent, 1 cent. And this one, which was a loser, it's a negative 40 cents. So, but what I wanted to show you was, and it's a lot simpler if we look at today's trade. So if you look here, it's 0222, right? Poker. So, and I added this option which lets me turn off a trade, just hide it momentarily, to do a what if scenario. So when I turn this sleeper test off, this overnight trade, I increased 300ths of a cent. This other stupid trade here that I took for 800 shares and only made 36 cents. Watch what it does. So I'm going to temporarily hide that. Look at that. My profit per share goes up to 4 cents. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because I had taken this trade, right? And I had made $40 on 1,000 shares. And if you divide the numbers, it's easy. 1,000 shares, I'm sorry. And it's easy. 1,000 shares times 40 cents, it's 401. By trading again with the money I had left and using up 800 shares, and because I didn't make money or I had lost money, I reduced my profit per share way down. And the reason I share this is because Yesterday I kept mentioning, and on the lives I've been mentioning that over trading is a problem. This is where we lose money. We have to learn to keep our winners, and we have to look for a high profit per share. The win rate doesn't matter. The win rate is it's irrelevant. It's a metric, and we certainly need to track it. It's important, but it isn't as important as our profit per share, or the fact that we need to be able to, like I say in the report, be able to make our winners bigger than our losers. And you say, well, that's real easy and everything, but it doesn't amount to anything when it's difficult to do. Well, we have to work on it, and if we work at it, and one of the reasons most people would think, well, I need to make more money. I need to make back the money I lost last month or last week or yesterday, so I'm going to trade more until I make more of it. But what we're doing is, yeah, what's an analogy? So they say that you are more likely to die in a car accident than in a plane crash. And that speaks volumes, right? Because what it means is there are a lot more cars, a lot more people, a lot more factors that factor into you going outside and getting into a car and the possibility of an accident. Trading is the exact same way. The more symbols you look at, the more possibilities you have to trade, and the more money you have available to trade, the more trades you're going to take, and the more likely you are to stumble. And not only stumble, but reduce this profit per share, which means you aren't truly being highly profitable, and your ratio, even though your profit factor may be high, you're not making good use of your money. That means you're not taking good trades. So anyway, I thought that was an important tidbit to share with you folks. And so let's take a look at the calendar. We're now at 11 of 13 days green. We're still at 85% there. Our winning average hasn't changed, and that's the problem. We need to reduce our red. But we've got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 now days in a row of green, and we're up 207 on the month, and that is working to reduce our drawdown from earlier in the year. It isn't going to reclaim it, but we certainly are working towards it, and we still now have 7 days left to trade, and we can't make mistakes like what I did on trading on that TDIC. And so let's take a look at reports. So you can see here we increased over yesterday. That's 30 days. Let's just take a look at the day. The same thing. We're down 17 because we didn't make that much money. We could have made more, but that's okay. We were still green. We can see here the 2 trades that we took on the bounce were the winners, and the overnight trade didn't work out that well. So let's take a look at the 7 days. And this is important because here's today. So in the prior period of 7 days, we were at minus $49. Now we're up 246 because of the delta. We're not counting from zero up. We're counting from the drawdown, which is minus 49 all the way up. And if we go back to yesterday we were at 206 versus $91. So now you can see the difference as we grow our current period P&L to 246. The drawdown comes down from 91 to 49. That's huge. We're making progress, and the graph is visual. I mean, you don't even need to look at the individual days. You can see that the line is going up, and that's perfect. And the same thing down here. We can see we have 3 trades at 100%. We have 2 here that are bounce, 3 are breakouts. So those breakouts will turn into bounces once I fix that up. And those are the ones that are giving us these recent wins. And what we have to do is make an effort to duplicate that so that we can continue in that same path. So we'll take a look at the past 30 days, and the same thing here. Well, look at that drawdown. In the previous 30 days, we're at minus 305, and now we're plus 228 on 51 trades. So it's progress, and little by little, here's my intent. Now I don't have to know what my drawdown is. I don't have to know what I lost in January or February. I can come here to my report and I can see exactly that for the last 60 days, the last 2 months, my drawdown is 888, and I need, and I'm still at minus 36. So I'm not even at zero yet. So I'm still below zero. And if I go back to the 90 days, it's even worse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's even worse. Look at that. The prior period was 347. The new period is minus 884, which is over $1,200 drawdown. And that's the drawdown for the year. So there's my clear numbers for 2026. The $1,200 drawdown. But like I said, I'm making strides to close that gap little by little, and it's going to take a couple more months. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, the market stands up to it. This is my new insights board that I've added to the app, so that we can take a look at important information that can help folks here. So all right, so now we go back. So that's where we stand. Hopefully we got 3 more days yet. The ceasefire has been extended, so it looks like things may calm down, and I did see small gains in the market. Hopefully we'll see what Asia and Europe do. They'll probably pick it up tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have a great way of a better day. I do have a video on the trade, which I recorded after the fact, which just basically goes back and shows you where I entered and exited, and watches the LOBO as it at the open. So let's move on to that. Hey there, so here is our video. So I don't have video of the trade. Like I said, I got in way too early, as you can see there. I entered for 1,000 shares at 107.99, almost 108, and exited at 112 towards the top there. And the actual move for me was off the top of that green bar, that one right there, and here what I'm doing is I'm checking the move. And so it wasn't a huge percentage for me, with just 4 cents, but it was enough to earn me the $40 for the day, and which was a nice cushion. It's a small account. And then I started, of course, continue to watch through the day what else was moving. GNPX started to move, and we're still at 5:17 in the morning. But I couldn't get myself to trade. And I think in the live today I mentioned that I felt that there were more opportunities earlier in pre-market than there were at the open. And I think people were cautious over the fact that we didn't know what was going to happen with the peace talks, or whether bombing was going to start, and making things worse. So it looks like a definitive ceasefire has been established until they can come up with a plan. And that should send markets flying at least 10-15% higher tomorrow. So it should be very good for us. So I continue to watch GMPX and continue to watch to see what else was up there. LOBO was staying around $1. I mentioned one of the reasons why I keep those scanner watch lists on the left hand side is because I don't have to watch other charts. I can just flip my eyes, and the top one is set to a pre market. So I can just glance right there at the top pre market gainers, and I can see which ones have news with that little yellow circle icon in it. And then I just click on it and I know what it's moving. And then I can go back to any other trade. So here's GMPX failing badly, and one, two, three, four, five candles, and then it drops. And you notice that it went up to exactly where I had it, right about 148 or something, and then it careens down. So go back to watch Lobo there in case that there were any other opportunities. But as you can see in that mid chart in the middle there, it's already hit the top BWAP band, and now it's come down all the way down below VWAP, and now it's trying to recover itself. And during the day, it had a bunch of moves, but there wasn't an opportunity. In the live, and I'll mention it here for the folks who didn't watch the live because it might be a little too long, is what has made me a better trader in the past 2 months. So the things that I've been doing is going back over everything that I should be watching, making a list of those items that I should be watching. And perhaps what I was not doing before was keeping them in my mind, right? So they say we as humans have a limited number of items we can keep in our minds. And when you're trading, your eyes are the ones that are directing your emotions and directing your actions. And what we want to do is be able to have an automated method that allows us to trade. And so what we need to do is practice on the simulator and learn these tools one at a time and get us going into a methodology where we scan. We look at the watch list, we look at the level 2, we look at the charts, we look at the 5 minute and the VWAP, the MACD, and before making a decision. And that comes almost the same way as it does for driving. If you remember back to when you were learning how to drive, I remember I was nervous. I was 14, 15, and I got into my first accident, I think when I was 18. And the very next day, I had to go back out there and start driving again because I couldn't let fear overtake me. But every time I came to a intersection, I had this feeling in the back of my neck that somebody was going to hit me from the back or from the sides. So I kept looking around. Eventually, you get over those fears. And I was also recalling that here in my later years, when I was still working, I had a long commute. And I'm in Southern California, and California traffic on the freeways is hours long for you to get home. And I would get home and start to rest, relax, and then I try to remember what I saw on the trip home. And I said, well, I don't recall. It was almost as if I had fallen asleep because after so many years of driving, it had become second nature and automatic for me that I did not need to remember to check the mirrors, to put my seatbelt on, to look left, to look right, to use the brake, the accelerator, etc., etc. And that's the same way with trading in your software. So you have to feel comfortable. So you have to get the software that makes you comfortable. If you're using a certain broker and the software isn't as adapted as you would like, move to another one. I happen to like Thinkorswim. It does the best thing for me, and I think that's where I'm going to stick. So going back here, and all this arrows being drawn there, they have no logic or rhyme, right? No, they do. Basically, what I was doing is trying to set a channel, drawing from the top down, and trying to predict when that stock was going to collapse. And so around 523 was my indication that it was going to go bearish. It actually took a little longer, I think, but it finally did careen down. And if you watch today's live, you'll notice that there were quite a few stocks that also did the same thing, and I was able to analyze and identify them. So anyway, hopefully this is a quick update. Like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, would like to see anything different, place it down below. And hope you had a great day. And likewise, have a good day tomorrow. But be careful and trade cautiously. Thank you.